now you're wanting to record. Thanks, OBS, for screwing up my opening.
Podcast.
I appreciate it.
Two guys talking without wearing pants. Pantless. Podcast. You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless Podcast. Here's your host, Austin and Travis. Take it away, guys. Hey, what's going on?
Howdy, folks in the world. We are back again.
So what'd you think about that we just listened to?
Oh, man. I have this,
A lot to unpack in that short minute and a half song.
yeah, I just don't know. As humans canned everywhere.
Yeah, canned humans.
Yeah, that was something. Old school System of a Down.
Yeah, old school system.
I appreciate you just leaving me speechless right before you start the show.
Hey,
that's
welcome
while I'm trying
back
to
to the
gather
show.
my thoughts.
Welcome back to the
like,
show.
Comment, subscribe, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm still at a loss.
In,
What'd you eat tonight?
what did I eat? Oh, I brought home Burger King.
Nice.
My kids are off with the grandparents camping. Have been all week. So it's just been, we've got two of them here with us, and my son hadn't been feeling well, so I brought him a cheeseburger to make him feel better, because that fixes all ailments.
That's right.
And
Greasy cheeseburgers.
Heck yeah. And my youngest, she likes the Burger King chicken fries.
Good.
So that's what kind
I
of
like
swayed us.
their little tenders or whatever they've got. Those, I don't know what they're called.
Yeah,
Those
but,
are really good.
but you know what the best thing they have? Is their Bacon King. It's the double cheeseburger. Just a big double cheeseburger with like a pound of bacon on it.
I haven't had Burger King in so long.
I hadn't
Burger
had it in
King
a long time.
Claremore is a little bit on the sketchy side.
The guy in the drive-thru was giving me these weird, like, we ate Taco Bell Wednesday, and I drive through Taco Bell Wednesday, and the girl at the drive-thru counter was looking at me. I mean, just giving me weird eyeballs, like I was some creeper or something. And then the guy at the Burger King drive-thru, I don't know if she talked to him. I don't know if the drive-thru people at different restaurants in Pryor talk to each other.
Yeah, it's a Facebook group.
He was giving me freaking weird looks. I'm like, what's going on here? It's funny because I drive a white PT Cruiser. That could be it too.
Maybe. They're like, what is this?
That's and funny, talking about my car, you'll get a kick out of this story, and we'll tell it right here.
Okay.
I get home yesterday, and somebody has wrote in the back dirt of my car, "Clean me." Because I live on gravel roads, and my cars get dusty bad. I don't clean them. And I'm thinking there's only two people at work that would do that. You and somebody that works over in one of the other buildings. I won't name them. Well, I ran into this said person in the parking lot this morning and was like, "Hey, did you draw in the back of my car?" And they're like, "Yeah, how'd you know it was me?" I'm like, "Because literally, I told two people."
That's funny.
And one doesn't park here. Never comes to this parking lot. So I narrowed it down to you.
That's hilarious.
Were you mad or did you laugh? I'm like, I laughed madly. Like, I don't like people touching my stuff, but okay, you got me. Are you gonna clean it? No. Not gonna do it. What'd you eat this week?
I had me some chicken nachos for dinner. Delicious. Got super full.
Nachos. Oh, you went.
Yeah.
You went and did things.
Yeah, we went and did things. Yeah, my sister-in-law's birthday is Monday, but everybody's leaving. They're not going to be there, so we just did her birthday early. So rib crib in Muskogee.
Go to Muskogee for rib crib when there's one just down the road from you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, my wife was not happy, but her sister lives in Fort Gibson, so...
Yeah, make them drive to make...
their whole family, both of her sisters, her parents,
like
her
literally,
grandma, like
What-
everybody in her family lives there. We're the only ones that don't live in Fort Gibson, and so they're
Yeah.
like, well, we could have made them all drive to Claremore, but they're like,
what's
or we
that
can
rib
just have
crib?
the one.
That rib crib's like what, 5-minute drive from your house?
Maybe, yeah, probably about that.
That sucks.
Yeah, she was like, my wife was just like, why can't we just eat somewhere else? Like, we have a rib crib just down the road from my house. We're gonna drive an hour and 15 minutes to go eat at rib
There's
crib.
some really good places to eat that's not rib crib in Muskogee too.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's some really good places.
You know, one of my favorites, Chow's. I don't know if you've
I've
ever
never
eaten
been to that one.
Chinese. Oh,
No.
it's so good.
But Muskogee has one of the last remaining really good Golden Corrals.
That's true. Yep.
Because not very many places have Golden Corral left anymore. Because that's fat people food.
Yep.
And I love it. It's a buffet. And again, Muskogee has one of the last remaining good ones.
Yep.
So, good food. Good times.
Good food.
Good times.
And Lopez Grill, if you're into Mexican, Lopez Grill's fan.
My wife has told me about that because when they're in Muskogee, that's where they like to eat.
It is so good. It's
I've
worth it.
heard stories. I think that's the one she liked. Hey, let's talk some football. Let's talk
What's
about
going
how.
on?
Let's
I
talk
haven't been
about
following.
how
What's going on?
my Commanders finally ended my stress and signed Scary Terry to a 3-year deal, 3-year extension. He's now like I think he's like the third highest paid receiver in the NFL now.
That is one smart thing that they've done. They're probably the only smart thing that they've done all
Well, they
offseason.
got Carson Wentz.
Like I said, extending McLaurin's contract calendar. His contract was the smart move.
He was the last remaining player that really was.
Are they keeping Gibson?
Antonio Gibson? Yeah, why would they get rid of him?
He was like, "Hey, I'm worth more than you're paying me, so I'm leaving." I don't know. I don't
No,
know their
he's not
contract where they are.
No, he's not leaving. He
Well, they might have a decent season.
he may be gone after this. We may not keep him after this season, but he still had. I don't think he was in a. I think he's in a contract year next year. So he's a free agent after this season, but no, we don't pay running backs.
Yeah.
He's a good running back,
He is.
but he's not a great running back.
Because he plays for the Commanders.
No, he could play for anybody.
If he played for Dallas, he would be excellent.
Well, because he's better than Zeke, but I wasn't going to make that comment.
I'm just saying, it's all about the O-line.
We had a great one 2 years ago when he was a rookie, and he's like I said, he's good. I like him as a running back. He's not a Saquon Barkley. He's not a Christian McCaffrey. He's not a Zach
he doesn't
Taylor.
get hurt and miss every game except 2 every season that they've tried to play.
He's not one of those glass cannon running backs. He's more of a 20-gauge shotgun. Kind of hit and miss. Like him. I wish he'd stay around. I wish we could keep him forever. But he's a talent that we could find cheaper in the draft next season, in like the second or third round, because that's where we found him.
I agree with that one.
I don't have any loyalties to the guy. His loyalty sticks for me as long as he stays on the team. But if he wants out, cool. Bye. McLaurin, he was a cornerstone. I heard multiple reports of if we didn't sign him, we might have had players like we might have a riot because if players think, hey, if you don't pay him, why do I think you're going to pay me? He's the face of the franchise right now, and you're refusing to to extend him, how am I expected to get money? And people would just start leaving.
Maybe.
Oh, that was kind of the rumblings. And then when trade rumblings came out, Rivera had to come out and say, "We're not trading Scary Terry. That is not even a possibility." Because there was rumors of him being traded to Indy, possibly.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Because he's from Indianapolis.
Ship him home, baby. Ship him home.
And he liked a tweet that Reggie Wayne made. And Reggie Wayne's a wide receiver coach for the Colts. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's going."
Former Colts great, Reggie Wayne.
Yes, yes. But everybody's like, "Oh, he's going to Indianapolis. That's a lock. He's being traded to Indianapolis." And then Washington's like, "Hey, no. No, we're not losing our only proven weapon for the last 2 years." So, I'll make a prediction. I was thinking about this today.
Okay.
The East is looking stacked this year, except for the Giants because they suck. High five. It's right there. I think this is going to be one of the most competitive seasons for the NFC East amongst the top 3 teams.
It really could be. Yeah, I would agree.
Dallas is looking like they always do, talented but underperforming. The Eagles are just looking good. Their coach is a moron. Washington is underrated. I think they're going to fly under the radar and win a lot of games this year.
Maybe.
And they got an easy schedule. But they also... Did you know Warren Sapp is our defensive line coach now?
I did not know that. Wow, that's weird.
How is that not the best thing in the world? Don't you wish you had Warren...
What? Yeah, but what are his ties to...
I don't know. I saw it and went, "That's cool. I should look into that," but didn't. Because we're in the off season and we just I won't pay attention to football till it's time to draft for fantasy. Because there's nothing for me to pay attention to right now. Now that we've signed all our players, we're locked for the season. Barring some preseason injuries, which will happen.
Oof.
It's just a roulette wheel. Who's getting hurt on the first play of the first game of preseason that's out for season, Because don't hurt my feelings and make it my starting running back on fantasy last year. Drafted a really good rookie running back for Jacksonville. It was just going to kill everyone. And he gets hurt. First carry of preseason. Out for season. Blew out his knee. I'm like, well, there goes my whole fantasy season.
Yeah, I know people freak out and they put pressure for the draft, but in football, I like drafting the week, that week. After the games, who's hurt, who's going to be healthy for the games. Because anything happens in preseason, and your whole season's already done.
You want to draft between preseason, what is it?
I don't remember.
There's 2 weeks of preseason?
3 weeks of preseason.
Is it 3? So realistically...
the first game is Thursday, September 8th, and the preseason ends Sunday, August 28th. There's only 2 games on the 28th. So if
we'd almost draft between weeks 2 and 3 of preseason. They'd give everybody enough time.
The week end of week 3. So if we did it Friday night or Saturday, they have, after Friday's games, 12 teams have already played. And then you just have the rest of them.
We could almost do it between 2 and 3 because generally your starters hardly none of your starters are gonna play third week preseason.
Hmm.
Most of your younger starters are gonna play, and some of your newer players will play weeks 1 and possibly like a possession of week 2. But week 3 is all about who make roster cuts. Or they may have to do roster cuts before week 3. I can't remember. But yeah, definitely don't want to draft this year before preseason starts, because I think that's what we did last year.
I think so.
Like the week before preseason, I think we drafted. And I got burned.
So yeah,
So, well, David's killing me in WNBA.
I'm looking good. I have to win. If I win tonight, I'm in the playoffs. I think.
Are you?
I just have to outscore Chansey. We have the same record right now, and when the week started, she was outscoring me by 5
wow.
points. So if I beat her, think I'm locked in. As long as she doesn't do something crazy next week and outscore me by like something insane, and then I would have to lose next week. She would have to win, and then she would have to outscore me by.
I think right now you're still out.
Yeah. Right now she's got me. Like if we didn't get a play this week, but the fact that I get a player, and if I can beat her.
Are you currently winning?
Yes.
Yeah, you're currently up. I was only down by 2 points starting this morning to David, and now he's got me by 50, over 50, almost.
I haven't
400.
had a lead in baseball this whole week.
Are you gonna drop your first game?
Maybe I'm catching back up. I'm down by 30 right now.
This is a key win for me, by the way. This win, like if I win, if I don't fumble, I just scored 61 pitcher points tonight,
Holy cow!
and one of my pitchers had a -6. I had a 21, 37, 9, -6. I had 4 pitchers run this today. That was I was only winning by maybe like 20, 30 points all week, and now I'm up by what?
So I have a pitcher, and I was like, because I was behind, I was like, I'll risk it. Like I didn't want to play. I had him on my bench until this morning, and I'm just like, I need points. Like hopefully he'll do something. And then he gave me -14. I was like, should have just left him on the bench. Should have left him. I was getting too desperate.
You bum. How dare you? I have this one player that he only plays every other game, but when he does, he puts me in double. He gives me double. It's a batter. He's given me 14-0, 12-0, 13. He is such a bum. I had 2 batters score 13 tonight. Freaking Dansby Swanson. Swanson. That's how I pronounce it, at least. So I think if I'm playing a Kami's ass.
Mm-hmm.
And he is 2nd overall in the league. He's second. He's right behind you in DC. I'm sitting 2nd in Marvel, but I think I'm above the Autistics, but I'm still in that play-in game for the playoffs. I think if I beat a Cammy's ass, I go to 3rd and I get a first round bye.
Nice.
I think.
There's still several weeks to go, though, aren't there?
There's still quite a bit left. I had such a bad start to this season, but I'm actually recovering and having a very good back half of the season. How much is left? Because I still think I gotta play some. I think me and you had to play again. Yeah.
You get me, because I've the last 2 or 3 weeks I've really been struggling, really bad.
I get the
Like now,
Joker. So I get the Jokers and then you, and then the Autistics. Well, I have to beat them. But then I get a Cammy Sass one last at the very end of the season, and that could. So if I beat Sauce this week, it puts me one more game closer to locking myself playoffs. But then I got to beat him. I think it's going to come down to that last game for who gets the third seed.
it's crazy. Is the Jokers they're only we've got 10 teams in the league. Only 5 teams have scored over 3,000 points. The Jokers are one of those 5 teams,
At
but
2-7.
they are sitting at second to last place. Like them and Frazier both only have 2 wins each.
Now,
Despite him being, he's actually
the third highest.
He's the third highest scoring team, and he's in second to last place. The only reason he's not in last place is because you're tie.
But he's also given up the most points in the league.
Yep, that's what it is. He's one of those teams where if his schedule was different,
Mm-hmm.
he was always one of the top 3 scorers, but he always went up against one of, like, he would have beat everybody else except the team he was playing that week. If he has a different schedule, he's probably in first place in the league.
Correct. He is being outscored by his opponents by over 100 overall.
Yeah.
It's 30-52 to 31-82. So yeah, he's
That's like me in football last year. I was the second highest scoring team, but I didn't even make playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I'm the fourth highest scoring. Somehow, and get this, Chansey leading my division at 7-3. She hasn't even scored over 3,000, but she doesn't get scored on much.
She's got the lowest points against, like, in the league.
Yeah.
She's got Big D, man. Big D energy.
I don't. How does she not pay attention to her rosters and still win these games? Like, in all our leagues.
Nope. Nobody scores against her.
She drafts.
Yeah, she does.
She's always in our drafts. And I don't know if she sets her rosters or not. But, holy crap, she drafts well and has good luck throughout the season. Because I think there's only been, one basketball league that we've had that she finished dead last. But in hockey and here, in both years of baseball, she's been, making playoffs.
Yeah.
I just need to draft well and just not touch it the rest of the year.
Pretty much, yep.
I just think I draft horrible. I think I just have bad draft luck. Hey, let's do some breaking news.
Breaking news, yeah. So, I don't know if you've heard or not.
I have not.
But, Brett Michaels has been hospitalized, and he's having to cancel his Poison tour. So, I'm not sure what's going on with him. Positive vibes, thoughts, prayers, all that jazz.
Well, that's just a loaded.
I wonder if it has anything to do with his brain issue.
Well,
remember, he had a head injury.
Says Brett Michaels hospitalized while touring with Poison in Nashville. Well, just lay off the poison, bro. Sorry, had to.
Too soon.
Had to go there.
I'm not seeing what's going on. This is breaking news. There's not really a lot of details right now, but wild.
That article doesn't exist in the world. Like, I clicked on it and it's like, yeah, you got nothing to tell you. That's a good looking picture. Go away. Aren't they supposed to be?
News?
Aren't they supposed to be in Pryor soon? Are they at Oklahoma?
Oh, they might be. They
It,
might be.
this just says unforeseen medical complications. And they were minutes from going on stage when it was announced that he wasn't going to be there.
So I wonder if like Motley Crue just like went crazy and had an extra long set. Did Poison perform at all? Did they just go, we're not going to perform? Did they have a backup singer? It's like, I know every word.
Oh, they may not be in
What
Pryor.
was that movie with Mark Wahlberg where he was like that? Like he was like a super fanboy of some band and like he would practice singing exactly like the lead singer, and then when their lead singer died or left, like he was like, I can do it because I know every word to every song and I can sing just like them.
What
And
actor
then he
was
became a
that?
rock star.
What
I
actor?
don't remember. It was Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
No, the movie that he starred in where he became a rock star.
Oh, not when he was actually a rock star?
Yeah. Yeah, or rap
Pop
star.
Pop? Rap? Pop?
Probably pop. Pop is more like it. Pop, pop music.
How many
pop.
people in the world do you think actually know that he was actually a pop singer, rapper, in his early days? Like,
Probably everybody our age and older.
I would get that, but people that have seen him in movies lately, or than the last 5 years, you know.
But I think anybody under 30, probably not.
Yeah, but they're all lame.
Not saying they're not.
They are.
Just saying I don't think they would understand.
You have that one. Yes, they wouldn't understand. You are accurate. Hey, did we watch a movie today or this week?
We did. We
Let's jump into
did.
this.
Retro movie review.
Hard target.
Hard freaking target.
Hard.
We've watched some like classic 90s action movies, like, but have we watched one like this stereotypical?
Oh my gosh.
This was, I mean, you're talking mullets, explosions, like nonsensical, like I'm going to grab a rattlesnake out of a tree, punch it in the face, and then bite its rattle off so I can set it up as a booby trap for my enemies. Like, what is going? I'm going to chase down a helicopter on a horse with a shotgun and just like start shooting at it.
This guy has to have the most accurate shotgun in the world. He was long range shooting shotgun blast into a helicopter accurately while on horseback.
Yeah.
Like,
what are we doing here?
It
was so good.
I don't get this. Now, most of the time I don't get too picky or critical over accuracy of gun depiction in a movie.
Uh-huh.
But this movie had to have been a bit out there. Because how many times did he exhaust a clip but keep shooting? How many times do you really need to shoot somebody with a 9mm to kill one?
Yep.
Obviously, it's like emptying 2 full clips into a normal human being, then have to kick him in the face to kill him.
Exactly. Oh, he loved his kicks.
And in that end scene, he was, every time he would down a guy, he would pick up clips for the gun he was using that he picked up from a guy that he first done, assuming that all these guys are gun.
Yeah, they're Universal. Universal magazines, obviously.
Obviously, they're all using the same gun.
Yeah, the same caliber, everything.
Well, I will admit, they were probably all using 9mm, because that is kind of a, like, sidearm is normally you're using a 9mm. That's a common caliber, very easy to get a hold of. Ammo's cheap, fairly cheap, especially back in the 90s. Very good sidearm. Holds a lot in a clip. But if they're different models and makes of guns, those clips aren't going to be universal. I'm like, okay.
90s Universal, sir. That's all it is.
One grenade blows up half the building, and another grenade just blows up the room.
Yep.
It was so, I don't know, just cheesy.
How about that?
Awesome.
Kicking the gasoline can up in the air and then shooting it in front of the guy to make it explode. It's like, that is awesome.
And the guy, if you watched, when the bike is launched through the window and it lands outside, the guy's burning corpse is still on the bicycle or on the motorcycle. You can see like still on the bike. It's like, yeah, that body would have been thrown way clear.
And it was one of those movies where the stunt doubles, like, if you saw the jump scenes on the motorcycle where it's supposed to be Van Damme, but you like get a glimpse of the person riding, you're like,
oh yeah,
that's not him at all.
That's
like, is that Steven Seagal? Who is that right now on that bike?
That's the Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator jump scene on the motorcycle.
Yep.
Where when it jumps, you can obviously tell they just had to CG the face.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
What'd you think about the bad guy? And not the mummy, the other guy.
The old guy?
Yeah, the old guy. Which I was trying to figure out where he was from.
I know. Isn't he like on a CIS or something like that, or an NCIS or something?
He was from Aliens, the Alien films from the 90s.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I think he died in the. He was like one of the scientists in Aliens. He was also in Terminator.
Okay.
He was in Alien and Aliens. Oh, Aliens 3 and Alien. I think he was in all of them. He's been in a lot of movies. Hey, did you see the cameo from what's his name? I think his name's Tim Raimi. Him and his brother were both in this movie. When the one vet was walking through the streets trying to get people's help because he had been shot and was being chased. The one gentleman that he walked up to and was like, "Hey, I need help," and he's like, "I don't have any change." What? And like that guy was in like all of the walking. He was in all the Spider-Man movies, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. He's
really,
yeah. Ted Raimi, and his brother Sam Raimi, which I think he was a director for the Ghostbuster movies. Oh, so Sam Raimi was the guy that directed the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. His brother is an actor and is in all those movies. This guy directed all of the Evil Dead movies, Army of Darkness, Spider-Man. I think he was the director for this movie. Nope, John Woo was the director for this movie. But I just know when I saw him in the street, I was like, hey, he looks familiar. But the mullet was epic.
Fun fact about this movie, when it originally came out, the rating people said that this had to be rated NC-17. Like, and Hard Target people are like, whoa, we're not going to be able to get anybody. What are you doing to your computer?
Is it me? I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
You're like, what, are you like tapping a button to do that?
What was I doing?
Or are you glitching right now?
I might be glitching right now, but everything's going good on my screen. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, anyway. So, yeah, it was originally NC-17. They're like, no, we need this to be at least an R. Like, we won't make any money if it's NC-17 because, you know, like, that's a hard number. Like, you have to be 17. Like, this is an adult film kind of thing. And so, like, they had to reshoot the movie and then come back and they're like, nah, it's still NC-17. And they had to do it, like, 3 or 4 times to get it down to an R rating.
Is that why there was one of the scenes with the main bad guy, where he said something and it sounded weird? Like later in the movie, when they were in the cemetery, I think he made what it sounded like where it should have been a cuss word was like cut out.
Yeah, and it's weird because I didn't really think it was that bad. Like,
Th-
I mean, it had some violence, but there was like no nudity or anything, and that there
well,
wasn't any outrageous language.
I think there was some light nudity because the flyers had a naked chick on it.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
And was Arlen Vosloo not the creepiest actor
is
you've
that
ever seen?
the Mummy?
Yeah, the guy that played what was his name in this movie? It was Pick Van Cleef.
Uh,
Am I making you angry, Pick? I never get angry. I'm a professional. Like, the dude just, he looks mad always.
and he's creepy. It looked like he was like I was expecting it to be like. Turns out he's a vampire. Okay.
No, he's just not a good, like, if I ran into him in the wild, I'd be like, "You're not a good guy." He's probably a super nice
exactly.
guy, but he has the face of a villain.
Yep. He sure does.
So,
But before we go to Metacritic, fun facts about some ratings. I'm looking up like how they were rated in different countries. In France, they're like, yeah, this movie's good for 12-year-olds and up.
that sounds about right.
And in Malaysia, they're like, this is banned. They actually edit it for TV, but still were like, yeah, we edit it for TV, but you have to be 18 to watch it.
Dang.
So it's like, the French are like, oh, our 12-year-olds can watch. And then in Malaysia, they're like, yeah, no, nobody's watching this. This is terrible.
I'm guessing it didn't even release in Australia.
Australia gave it a mature rating.
Okay, because there's a lot of these movies that don't even release in Australia.
Yeah. Canada had like several versions. They had a 2003 version that they cut down to make it 13 and older. Quebec, I guess different provinces have different ratings. Quebec
Probably.
said 16 and older, and then in Manitoba, Nova Scotia, and Ontario, they rated it R. And then Alberta were like, 14-year-olds can watch it.
Give it a PG.
See, you know those people in Alberta, that's hard country, so they're just like, our life is worse than this.
Alberta. Let me get this wrong. That's near. That's right there by New York, right?
I don't know where Alberta is. I know Ontario is right there next to New York. Like,
yeah.
I know you can drive from New York into Ontario, but I don't know if like Alberta's right next to it, and you could also get to.
I thought that was near there. Or am I thinking of a place in New York that's called Alberta? Alberta, New York, maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the state.
With Canada
or New York. Canada's not a state, sir. It's a country. The mullet was epic, and the earring, and the accent, and the flying kicks.
And we know. So yeah, Alberta is the other side of the country. It's like north of Montana.
I was close.
Yeah, you're really close. It was in Canada.
You can drive from New York to Alberta, though. It just might take you several days.
Ontario and Quebec border New York. But anyway, back to the movie. We got sidetracked with some geography.
How long did it take you to realize that this was based in New Orleans?
A long time.
Was it way too long? Because I'm like, what's this accent that Van Damme's using here? I am so confused.
It was terrible. His accent was just like, what? That was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh my god, where's this guy from?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what he's doing here with this accent. Is he foreign? Oh wait, no, he's just he's Cajun.
Right, yeah.
Why is Van Damme playing a Cajun?
I don't know. And we never get any backstory. Like, we have no idea where he learned to fight, where he learned to hunt, where he learned to kill. There was like no whispers at all.
At one moment,
military.
At one time, they said that they when they were talking about one of the veterans, I thought they were talking about him, but they weren't. They were talking about the other guy that they ended up killing. I'm like, oh, okay, who is this guy? Don't know. He just got a He's got a crazy uncle out in the woods that's making whiskey. Not even moonshine. He wasn't even making moonshine. He's making whiskey. And a distiller. That was a diabetes guy. Wilford Brimley.
Funny, I didn't even realize that.
Was
I forgot you'd
Uncle
mentioned that,
Duvet.
but I didn't even.
Old Uncle Duvet. Uncle, can you walk? I sure can't dance, but I can definitely get up. This is the true tragedy of this story. And he pulls the flask out.
Yeah. And then they had like just that '90s family sitcom. Uncle.
Did you catch what he said to her when he first pulled the flask out when they were in the woods? He's like, take a drink of this, but don't spill it. It kills the grass.
Yeah.
That's a potent stuff if you're dropping liquid that's you're worried about it killing your grass.
So
But all right, let's
do this.
all right,
Let's
so
get some Metacritic reviews. Oh, they're gonna hate this movie.
not as bad as I would have. More generous than I would have given it. 22 critics out of a hundo.
34.
No.
No.
63.
No. What?
I know.
Oh, I don't know what's going on in the world anymore.
So 7 users.
Oh,
out of
just
10.
7?
Only 7. No, 9. Sorry, 9. Could have sworn I said 7,
Oh.
but
I'm gonna say they had a 6.5.
you were closer on this one, 7.3.
Okay. That's funny. That's funny. I love it. What did the critics say? Give me some high points. I need something.
You had 13 positive, 8 mixed, 1 negative. Users had 6 positive, 3 mixed, no negative. The San Francisco Chronicle gave it an 88. With Woo, the director.
Yeah, John Woo, that was his first movie.
Was it his first?
That's what I heard. I heard it was like his first movie, and they actually brought in, because I guess this is the 90s and people were racist. They were like, we don't know if an Asian guy is really going to be able to do a really good job with this kind of movie.
Remy was there?
Was it Remy?
Remy? He was credited for this movie.
Okay, so maybe, yeah, they brought in like somebody that was like a backup in case he...
okay, that's why Remy was credited
what was going
for
on.
this movie. Okay.
But yeah.
But it says violence is not just a means to an end. It's something pretty. It's fascinating. His talent is an original and peculiar one. Wu brings an aesthetic sensibility to bear on the phenomenon of a good guy beating people up, and to the spectacle of a violent shootout. Explosions aren't just impressive, but beautiful. Tampa Bay Times gave it an 83. All these are talking about John Woo, by the way. The director. Nobody's talking about the acting or the actual writing. Just the directing. Yeah. Woo's film has an exciting look and visceral feel that is unique in Western filmmaking. If nothing else, it should increase video rentals of Woo's foreign films and make a ton of money for those happy capitalists at Universal Pictures. The Austin Chronicle gave it a 78. To be fair, this isn't The Killer. Obviously not. It's Hard Target. Woo's unique penchant for over-the-top male bonding is basically nowhere to be seen, but then this is, after all, a very American story, despite Woo's name at the top. Oh. Alright, let's get down to the Miami Herald gave it a 25. This is what I'm talking about. Hard Target is pretty much a bust from every conceivable aspect except the visual. Can't agree with that one. It looks terrific. And one sequence, a shootout on the streets of New Orleans between Van Damme and a progressively larger number of bad guys, comes close to capturing the trademark frenzied It's its exhilarating feel of Wu's previous work. I like how there's no cops in this entire movie.
Wait, there was.
Oh,
Remember, like that
yeah.
woman that
There was the female detective, but I guess they were playing on the fact that all of the
they were
city
on
police were on
strike.
strike,
Yep.
and there was no police. Like she was at her desk claiming to have worked all night. They're like every time they come to her, she's like, "Yeah, I don't care." She was a detective. She dies, I guess.
Yeah. Did.
She gets shot. What looked like in the arm. Looks like she got grazed in the arm. And she's like, "What about this lady?" He's like, "She's dead. Don't worry about her. Let's go." It's like, what the hell? Like, she gets grazed once in the arm, but you have to shoot a grown man 37 times in the chest, in the belly. Have you noticed that they shot low a lot?
Yes, I noticed that. Like it was just right at
Nobody
their
got
feet.
shot in the head.
No, everything was like at the
Groin
ground.
or lower.
And a couple people got hit in the arm. Van Damme got hit in the arm.
But the main characters got shot up high. But all the henchmen, like when the main girl got that pistol, and that guy came around, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she shot him. She shot him I think she shot him in the crotch, belly, and thigh. She was like shooting like down at the ground. I'm like, what are you? And even Van Damme, who's supposed to know what he's doing, he's shooting low.
Yep.
The only time he shoots high is when he shoots Foslo because he's under his feet. Like, I don't... Yeah, you guys are confusing. Yeah, I'm not reading that user review. You guys are not... Alright, do you have something for us?
I've got a few things. We'll be kind of quick. I'm not going to read every single one, but I am. This isn't on Common Sense Media, so we had to find a different guide. But IMDb has a parental guide, and it's pretty interesting how their rating system works. I guess they have people review the movie, and then they have some kind of algorithms like, well, based on blah blah blah. So like sex and nudity, they had 26 people talk about the sex and nudity, and 13 of the 26 found it mild, and so they gave it a mild rating. They talked about the flyers, like you brought up. It had a black and white photograph of a naked woman on it, and then that group that attacked Nat, which is funny when he's like, "They named you after a bug." She's like, "No, it's short for Natasha."
Yeah.
but it said that it was strongly implied that they wanted to do stuff to her.
Yeah.
And then there was apparently there was a book while Randall was sleeping one night, and the book on his nightstand was titled "Erotic Dancer."
I didn't even.
It said so. Anyway, so yeah, they gave it a mild. 13 out of 26 found it mild. In violence and gore, 16 out of 17 found it severe. And it goes through pretty much it. Reading this is basically just the movie. It's ridiculously long. Profanity, 9 out of 17 found it moderate. It had 14 F words, 6 of them using the ing form. What it says. I didn't realize there were that many. I was listening and I only heard 2, but maybe their thick accent.
I know Oslo said it a couple times.
Maybe. So yeah, 2 uses of the B word. 5 times they took God's name in vain. 4 times they said GD. 1 time they said the S word. Another time they used Christ's name in vain. BS once and 5 SOBs. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, 10 out of 12 found it mild. There was a character that smoked a cigar.
The uncle was making whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it said. It said he was making and drinking what appears to be moonshine, and he offers Natasha, and she takes a swig.
Is moonshine whiskey?
Maybe.
I thought it was different.
I think it doesn't it depend on what it's made out of.
I thought it was different, but it may not be.
And then fighting and intense scenes. 9 out of 18 people found it severe because of the men hunting other men for sport. fact that the movie is very violent and it's graphic and unflinching in its depiction of violent acts, and tens of people are killed. So that's IMDb's rundown. Pretty interesting. I want to look at this. See what. Oh, I can see how they rated it. So like violence and gore, one person rated it moderate, and 16 people said severe. Nobody said it wasn't violent or had mild violence. Sex and nudity, 11 people actually said it had no sex and nudity. One person said it was severe. I want to know who that person was. They're like, there's a black and white picture of a naked woman. This is outrageous. Severe sex and nudity.
I wasn't even sure if that's why it was so vague on that poster that I'm like, is that what was it? Is that what I'm looking at?
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Somebody thought it was just beyond, whatever. And one person found it moderate.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah. This is super interesting. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking. One person said it didn't even exist. 10 people said mild. 1 people said moderate. Profanity. 3 people said mild. 9 said moderate. 5 people thought it was pretty severe. Which I can see that. And then intense scenes. 9 people said severe. 7 said moderate. 1 said mild. 1 person said there were no frightening or intense scenes.
What?
Anyway, interesting.
Are people even watching the movie?
That person who said there were no frightening or intense scenes probably said it had severe nudity. They're probably just the troll.
Oh, probably.
Like, I want to click on it and read, but it requires me to have an IMDb account, and I just don't want to make one.
No.
Just not interested. Just don't want to. With that being said, have you thought about next week?
Sort of, but trying to find... There's a movie I've been wanting to watch.
Okay.
But the Google machine says it's on Amazon Prime Video, but when I pulled it up on my phone while you were rambling,
yeah,
it's showing you have to buy it. So I don't know. It's showing us on Pluto TV. I don't know if you've ever used that before.
I might have Pluto.
Have you watched The Evil Dead?
Not the original. I did watch the new one.
Ash versus the Evil Dead?
No, like the remake.
Oh, that remake that didn't even have any of the original people in it.
Yeah. I haven't seen the original. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah. It's on Pluto TV. It's showing to me. I love this movie. This movie is epic and awesome, and I haven't watched it in years. The first 2 movies are just... Well, so a little bit of backstory. When they first made this movie, it was supposed to have been a serious horror movie. Like a slasher horror movie.
Right.
But it was so under... Like, they made it with, it was a pretty low budget movie. And they just didn't have the funds to actually make it what they wanted. So it's kind of cheesy and bad. And it had some poorly wrote comedy in it that's now a cult. Like, it's funny to me. I think the movie, it plays out more like a comedy. Because Bruce Campbell is just out there being himself.
Right.
So when they made the second one, they're like, you know what? We flopped with the first one so bad that we're going to make this one just stupid. And it was even worse. I've only watched the second one like once or twice ever. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's just in the series.
So the first one was good because they tried to be good and it was bad, so it was good. But then the second one was bad because they tried to be bad, but it was just bad.
They just went. But then the third movie is actually called The Army of Darkness. Is actually the third movie.
And is that good?
It's the best movie in the series.
Oh.
Because it's just a full-blown comedy. It's an action comedy.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's
But
do it.
yeah, let's watch that one. Well, we will find ways to watch it because I
Heck
had
yeah.
to scrape and dig to watch the last one.
Yep,
Let's
we
watch.
got this.
How about we just start watching what we want to watch and we figure it out?
We can do that too.
I like it.
But then that like requires us to actually think about stuff. Like usually we just like go through with what we have available.
But it also fits our MO of not planning anything.
That's true too.
We just don't even look the movie up. We just go with it. I don't even know if is this one gonna be the fifth or sixth movie in a row that's not on Common Sense Media.
Oh, surely Evil Dead is on Common Sense Media. That is a super famous movie. Media Machine. I'm not gonna click the link so I don't lose my
Yeah, it's on there.
last. So yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Let me read this top sentence. This is just in the Google search.
Okay.
Top line for Common Sense Media. Horror masterpiece is gory but silly, violence, drugs, and then that's it.
Violence.
Gory but silly. That kind of wraps it up a little bit on that movie.
That's what you said.
And this is a Sam Raimi movie. Kind of segue into that.
All right.
That's what got me going because I'm like, what? It's Raimi? Who's he? Who's he in this movie? And then I got to looking at Ted Raimi's, and the one brother's the director, and his younger brother acts in the movie. And that's what kind of I'm like, what? Evil Dead? I want to watch that movie. So let's talk about the movie's done. We're done with that movie.
Done with the movie. We're watching Evil Dead.
Music. The song we listened to was a song called, and I forgot the name of the song to be honest with you.
Canned human corn.
No, it was System of the Down.
Prayer. Dare.
No, it was hold on, let me look it up. I just drew a blank.
Oof.
It's off their album. It's off their Spiders album. Cubert is the name of that song.
Hubert.
Cubert.
Like the video game.
I get that. It kind of sounds like he's trying to mimic Cubert part of that song. He just Search Tanky and just go. It's only a minute and a half long. I was just listening to some System the other day. Had all their albums just on loop. Shuffle. Forgot the name of that word, but I just had all 4 or 5 of their albums shuffle, and the next song came on, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what am I listening to? I had like replay it like 3 times in a row just to be like, what is this? I think it's one of their. It's later in the album, and it's probably one of those ones that they wrote and just forgot about. If you want to hear another odd System song, Mr. Jack off of Still This Album is really good.
Miss what? Can you repeat that?
Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack off of Still This Album.
Oh, okay.
The song
you ran it. Do you hear what you said though? Like running it, Mr. Jack off Steal This Album.
Oh, yeah. I see what I did there.
What is going on? But okay.
So the song after that, it's just really good too. Is IEAIAO. It's a good song too. IEAIAO. And he actually says that in the song.
E-I-E-I-O. And on this form,
Yeah.
he had a dog.
He did. Pogo Bounce is another one off of their self-titled album. Because he walks into the room with his pogo. Pogo, bounce, pogo.
Oh, I have heard that. Okay, yeah. I do remember that one. Yep.
He goes on a date, and all he's got is his pogo. That's why I like listening. When I listen to a band, I like to listen to all of their work and listen to like some of their older albums and listen to full albums. Because you can listen to their hits and be like, yeah, I really like this band. But when you listen to their albums and start listening, because most, if I'm accurate on this, most bands, their singles are like the first couple songs on an album.
They try. That's what they try to do.
Like they try to put it up near the top of the album, but the songs at the back half of the album, which old school would have been a B-side of the album. Most of your B-side songs are your less known, that just sometimes they just feel like filler songs. But in my opinion, a lot of times those are my favorite songs on the album, are your B-side stuff.
Right. I can see that.
Like, did you know back when they did cassettes, bands would do, when they'd make a, did you ever have a band's, like a single cassette?
I never got into singles, no.
So I think I had Pearl Jam's single for, what song was it? It was one of the songs off of their second album. Not 10, but the other album. I can't remember, but back then they were known for doing the B, like they put like the single on the A side, but on the B side, if you flipped it, they'd have a different song. And I want to say Pearl Jam, they had a song called Yellow Ledbetter that ended up being on, they played it on the radio. It became one of their single, like rear singles later on, but it never dropped on an album. You can only find it on the B side of that single.
Oh, that's awesome.
For the longest time. It was just, that's what it was. I think some bands used to do that, where they would, the B-side, they'd put a weird song that was like, hey, listen to this as well, but then not even drop that on the actual album. If I'm wrong, correct me, and I will not change my mind.
I want you to be wrong. I like that story. That I want that to be. I want that to be real. Like I would love for them to be like, this is the most famous song we have, and then here's a song we just want you to listen to if you happen to do this.
I know the song Yellow Ledbetter from Pearl Jam was only on the B side of a single. Because I can't find that song anywhere on streaming or anything. It's not on any of their albums. But I do know I've heard that song before, and you can find it on YouTube. So, hey, do you want this to be over?
I'm getting a little sleepy.
I'm seeing that. I noticed that you were over there I was about to lose you. So, let's
call her.
Say bye, folks.
Bye. Oh.
There it is. We had fun.
Yeah, fun.
Live stream next week.
Oh, gosh, you're right.